Spoken Label.
He lurked in the shadows, waiting and hoping she wouldn't take a different route. This was her usual room. He knew that. He knew her.
Ghost of Me, the new book by Amanda Steele, can be found at Amazon, Kobo, Waterstones, and many, many other places. Hi guys, it's Andy N. Thanks today for downloading or streaming yet another episode of Spoken Label. As you may or may not be aware, Spoken Label was started in the beginning of 2006, and currently we have well over 150 sessions recorded since then. Although you can find it on various networks, the full archive is available for streaming and downloading at Spoken Label bandcamp.com. It is a free download or free stream in there, but obviously if you feel like chucking me a few pennies that way, it'd be eternally grateful to help me keep this podcast going and keep improving my equipment, etc. Enjoy. Speak to you soon. Bye bye. Spoken Label.
Hi guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house again today, and I've got a poet and an actor as well on Facebook Messenger today, and this young lady has come with a recommendation from a mutual friend of ours, and I'm going to name him because he loves it, Anthony Briscoe, who recommended Helena to me about 3 times last year and once this year, saying, you must get her on, Andy, you must get her on. But when you live in distances, as Helena would say, it's hard, and it's sometimes to sort something out. So, but Helena, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody? Tell them who you are, where you're from, and where all your creativity originally came from, and we'll start from there.
Hello, I'm Helena, and I'm from Live St. Anne's. I'm an actor. I teach acting as well, and I'm a poet as well. Poetry's kind of newer to me. I started writing when I was at college, and I was really inspired by a poet that came in called Mickey Echo. And I've never thought about doing poetry before until I saw him perform. And what I really loved about it was it felt like it was storytelling, like acting, but in such a small time frame. You know, you could listen to a whole different world, and you didn't have to sit there for an hour or 2 hours. You could get it within a couple of minutes, and that's what really inspired me.
Yeah, same for me with my writing. When I first got going like that, I've always been a storyteller, because my degree is actually in acting itself, but I don't do plays anymore now. I concentrate on poems. I like doing little mini dramas. I agree with you there. So now, obviously, so do you write in your acting work, and where did all that come from originally then? I'm guessing that came before your poetry.
My first job was at Blackpool Dungeon there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was a pretty cool first job. I was 17 when I got it. I was the youngest one there at the time. And it's kind of seasonal, so I was only there for about 6 months, for the season to end. And then after that, I just kept on auditioning and meeting new people. I think Blackpool, especially in St Anne's area, it's very much about you meet people, you show them what you do, and then you get work that way. I think you probably know yourself, Andy, it's a lot of it's about networking.
Yeah, completely. That's where it all came from for you then, basically, didn't it? All the networking side of things. So yeah, get you completely with that. So were you interested in acting when you were younger then, before that even?
So I was in a kids agency. But I didn't get anything. I had really, really, really short hair. I thought it was a good idea when I was younger to cut it all off when I was about 13. Big mistake. Totally regret it. So I didn't get much work. But when I was older, I think a lot about it is about what you know, your skill, and what you look like comes into the industry a lot as well.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why I started writing my own material, because you get fed up of waiting for other people to give you work.
Ah, right. So did you start writing your own material like that about 13 and 14? Did you? Or did that come a bit later on?
I've kind of always wrote bits and bobs. Not any good. I remember when I was a bit older, I did a scratch night. One of the companies that I knew. And I had this character called Romilda Sweet Cheeks, and she was like this evil villain that I made.
A great name.
So yeah, she might make a guest appearance later on at some point. I might bring her back out. But,
Good stuff.
yeah.
Good stuff. Now, obviously, I know you went to obviously you're in your third year at university now, aren't you? So, and obviously,
Yes.
what are you studying at university at the moment?
So I study theatre and performance, and it's acting, script writing, directing, producing, events management. Like, it's the whole shebang, really.
Oh no, that's good. That's good then. Do you feel like you've learned a lot from it over these last 3 years then?
Yeah, well, to be honest, it was my tutor that said I should do poetry work professionally. I'd always written stuff.
Oh yeah.
I did an open mic night at one of our nights that we organised, and she went, "You're really good." She said, "You should do something with it." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I've never thought about doing something with it." And then so I applied for Lancashire Fringe for a show that I'd written, and I got in, and then I've just kept going since then, really. But yeah, no, I didn't ever think. I know it sounds awful, but I didn't ever think poetry was a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like a profession.
Yeah, no, I get you completely right. Yeah, you're doing it like it's interesting, really. When you look at your CV, what you've done, you've worked in quite a few companies, haven't you? So, like it was like Merlin Entertainments, the Electric Sunshine Project, the Touring Consortium Theatre Company. I like trying to say that one when I'm drunk, and then it's live in Intimate Theatre. But like I said, yeah, I can see that you mentioned that you've done the Lancashire Fringe Festival. How was that experience?
It was amazing. So it was my show. It was called Poems for the Romantics from the Anti-Romantic, and I just put it in in a whim. My tutor was like, "You should put it forward," and I got in. And I got bitten by the bug then, performing poetry in front of people. And it was a comedy show. It was about me because I'm an albino. Actually, I'm an albino. Actor, and I'm visually impaired as well. So
oh, are you? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, no. So it was a show about me finding love as a visually impaired person.
Oh, brilliant!
That was the gag about it.
Oh, because I'm going to say I can understand what you're getting at, because I'm visually impaired. I can only see out one eye. So I'm almost completely blind in my right eye. Yeah, so I'll get you straight away. But Amanda, my partner's the same. Because like I said straight away, oh, brilliant, right. So, obviously, I know you did some work at the Frontline Arts Festival as well, didn't you? Did that come after Lancashire Fringe, or was that before?
After Lancashire Fringe, yeah. So, I did Lancashire Fringe with Louise Fazackerley.
Yeah, I know Louise, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. And she found a application for a visually impaired artist to make a new piece of work or old piece of work for Frontline Arts Festival. And she said, "Do you want to team up on this?" And I went, "Okay, we'll put an application through and see what happens." And we got it. So yeah,
brilliant. Oh, well done for that. Because Louise is quite a big name, so on the poetry circuit certainly. Because I met her twice. I know where a lot of people know her. So you've done well to get that there, definitely. So, but like I said, obviously, like I know, I first knew of you really for your show you did. Was it last year? Wasn't it? The Snowish Queen. And now this is when our friend Anthony kept telling me about. So where did your idea for the Snowish Queen come from then?
Well, so it was that commission I did with Louise was the Snowish Queen.
Ah, it was Louise the Snowish Queen, right?
Yes.
Right.
So Louise was helping the production side of it, and I wrote it. That's kind of how we worked on it. And it said in the brief that you had to have a community element, so you had to do some workshops as part of the performance. And because I am an albino, I quite often play pale characters, when I'm in plays and stuff. And my granddad used to call me the Ice Maiden when he was alive.
Oh, brilliant.
It just fit. And when I actually sat down and read Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Snow Queen, she's actually only got one line out of the whole story.
Oh, she really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is crazy because the story's called, The Snow Queen, and she's a character with no voice. And I thought, well, how fun would it be to give this character that has one line, loads of lines?
Oh, yeah, no, of course. You're almost like taking the fictional character, making it more real, aren't you? So giving her own voice and stuff like that. So, no, great idea indeed. So, now, obviously, like, I know at the moment you do teaching, don't you, over at EGG Performing Arts. And you're assistant teacher at the Pauline Quirk Academy as well. So how does it feel for you? I presume you're teaching acting on both of them, aren't you? So now, how do you feel like you've been getting taught acting? You're giving it back to people straight away, aren't you?
It was funny because with Egg, my friend set up a new company and she's seen me act before. We did a piece together, and she said, "Do you want to come and see acting?" And at that point, I was doing acting gigs. You know how it is, but they don't come in They come in whenever they feel like it, basically. Yeah. And she said, "Do you want to come and teach on a Sunday morning?" And I was like, "Oh, I've never taught before. You know, I don't know what it's going to be like." But when I got there, I absolutely loved it. I think, especially, I teach the kids spoken word as well. Like we do spoken, you know, writing our own text as well as acting. Yeah. It's kind of
it gives you a buzz, because I've taught creative writing before. Never done it in classroom to kids, but I've done it to adults, and it's a fascinating period of time when you're watching people learn picking up what you're trying to teach them and stuff. I get you completely with that.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like there was a girl, I won't say her name, but when I first taught her, she was so shy, and now she's like the loudest one out of the lot now, and it just makes you feel so amazing knowing that you've helped someone else. Like there's not a better feeling, really.
No, I get you. No, it does this. I think it changes a picture when you get into like performing and stuff like that. I think it changes you as a person anyway, to a degree. Because I know before I got into poetry, I was reasonably quite a shy person. And do you think it has changed you as a person since you got into it, particularly your teaching and stuff like that, hasn't it, really?
Well, yeah. So, one of my plans that I'm doing after when I finish uni is I'm going to do my PGCE part-time. So I'm doing it as a part-time course to allow me to keep doing me poetry and me acting. Because I want to work with special needs children.
Good for you, yeah. No, good for you, definitely there. So yeah.
Yeah, something that's really passionate. I'm really passionate about, and yeah, I think it's changed me to realise what an impact you can make on other people's lives is a big thing I've taken away.
Yeah, yes, no. No, I get you completely.
Just being nice to one person and believing in one person really makes a difference to their life.
Yeah, completely. I get it completely, and it's fair play to do it. I think it's a great thing if you put something back in. If you've got skills, show people how to use it. No, I respect you completely for that one, Helena. Now, obviously, in relation to your poetry, Nick, I know it's a lot newer for you, but if people want to know more about you in your poetry, do you have any sort of reoccurring themes that crop up in your work a lot?
I think love is a big one for me, actually. I think it's self-love and love, because I'm only 21 and I didn't really get into to boyfriends and stuff till I was 18.
Yeah, of course.
But because I am a disabled artist, I've always felt really, I always thought that boyfriends and relationships was a bit taboo for me. Like I thought like it wasn't going to ever happen. So and I'm not going to say his name, but my first boyfriend was awful.
I'm not going to talk about my first one. My first girlfriend a long time ago. Yeah, I get you totally.
And it's totally inspired me work, because actually, even though it was quite a sad thing at the time, looking back on it, it's quite funny, and that's where I got a lot of my material from. Where else do I get it from? Oh, I'm a big punk fan. I love punk music, so kind of rebellious, kind of loud poetry is something that I quite like as well.
Yeah, of course. It's always good. Like if when you're writing, you're showing the person, showing it more. It's like your personality times 10. I always tend to think it, or you just turn the volume up on yourself, don't you? So completely. So obviously, like you said, you want to get into performing your poetry here a bit more, don't you, as well? So, what have you read in many places your poetry yet, apart from outside university, or?
So that's what I mean. So my Snowish Queen was actually part performance, part poetry. All the script was poetry. It was spoken word. Lancashire Fringe, again, that was all spoken word / theatre. I've been putting them together. I'd come up with a character, the character saying my poems, that type of thing. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's happening or not now, but I got into making a Mark Festival in Preston summer to do a new show. I got commissioned for a new poetry show, and and the commission was to do stuff about new beginnings.
Yeah.
So I commissioned for myself to be a goth moth.
Ah, goth moth. Oh, I like it. Oh, brilliant! What a good play on words there.
Yeah. So I don't know, because it's in June. I don't know what's happening with that now. But yeah, and I try and enter as many poetry competitions and stuff as possible as well. We probably all do, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just at the moment where it is at the moment, you just try and keep busy, really, don't you? That's what I try and do. So, like, I'm just trying to try and find new projects to do all the time. And when you're at home and stuff, just if necessary, just keep writing, don't you? If nothing else, so definitely with that one. So now, Helena, if people want to find, pardon me, if people want to find out more about you, where are they best going?
Okay, so my Facebook page, I've got a special Facebook page, and it's at Helena Ascough, and that's got all my work up to date. And during this outbreak, I've started a YouTube channel, so if they can give me a follow on that, that's Helena Ascough again.
Good.
On YouTube. I understand I have a difficult last name. I don't know if you want me to spell out.
Well, yeah, if you wish to. I know I worked out how to pronounce it, so I'll let you do it. Tell people then.
Yeah, so it's Ascough, so it's Ascough. I've spent my whole life people calling me Helena Ascough and Ascough, and do you know what I mean? So I just tell people.
Well, mine's easy. I tell people because my stage name is Andy N, and that's why people I don't have to spell it out very much. Then, so get you complete. Oh, good luck, definitely. So now I know you're going to do a few poems for us today, aren't you, as well? So
yeah.
Right. What we'll then do is we'll then pause the recording and end of part 1. So everybody hang around because Helena's going to do a few poems for us, and we'll put them on as part 2. So thank you again, Helen. It's been a great chat today. Actually, I've really enjoyed it. Really got a good feel for you as a person there. So, and like I said, it's difficult, with the virus on at the moment, to try and say what you're going to plan to do next. But like I said, you obviously, like I said, it depends what happens next in June for you, really, doesn't it? So,
yeah.
If it goes ahead in June, because this podcast will go on live before then, when's it likely to happen? This?
So, oh gosh, I'm trying to think off my head now. It's in June. I think it's called Making a Mark, the festival is, and it's in Preston. So if you just Google Making a Mark Festival, it will come up. But it's like an outdoor festival, so it'll be me as a goth moth floating around doing poetry.
So fingers crossed it'll go ahead, because we just don't know what's going to happen when the economy is going and stuff. So definitely, do you have much plans for that afterwards even yet, or?
Sorry, Andy, you broke up.
Sorry. Do you have any more plans for beyond that yet, or anything? Any sort of other ideas you want to look at writing wise?
So because my show Poems for the Romantic from the Anti-Romantic is quite funny. I performed it for a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago before coronavirus, and I'd never thought about it till somebody said to me about going to comedy places and performing it. Like comedy stations and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think it would work actually, Don. Certainly, it's worth looking at straight away because, our mutual friend could probably help give you some suggestions on that one. But I felt it when I was watching your videos. I thought there's definitely a comical side to it. It's really just trying to work out what the right direction is sometimes, isn't it? So.
No. Yeah, definitely.
No, definitely. Well, good luck anyway. So what we'll do. I did a PS in for about 2 minutes. I didn't mean to. So we'll pause the recording, everybody. Hang around. Well, thank you, Helena. And we'll be back in a minute. See you in a minute.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Still here with Helena. Straight over to Helena now. She's got 4 poems for us. Over to you, Helena.
Oh, great. Thank you. So this is a poem I wrote as part of my teaching, actually, at Egg Performing Arts. My boss asked me to write some poems for our show. And they were inspired by The Wizard of Oz. So I wrote a poem from each different character, and this is The Wicked Witch. So this poem's called The Wicked Witch. A witch? I mean, darling, have you seen me? I mean, God, I know I'm green. It was a bad tan job. But what about my overwhelming beauty? Jealousy ain't pretty. And is it my fault I want a pair of shiny red shoes? I've been searching for a pair for ages. I'm prepared to spend all my wages, but no one has them.
not Louis, nor Gucci. But that Dorothy chick can't fool me. I know she would never be able to afford them. She must have stolen them, whipped them off a rich bird's feet. Oh, don't worry, my pretty. I will get you, and your Swarovski crystal shoes too. For I must be the fairest of them all. Whoops, wrong movie. Oh, forget it. I'm fed up of bidding on eBay. I want it my way for a change. Thank you.
Brilliant. Great start, that one. Yeah, I can see how that'll go down well straight away, that one. Great stuff, Helena. Okay.
Thank you.
What's your second piece, then?
This one is called I Might Not Get a First. So, I might not get a first, but I've had my first kiss, my first mistake, my first heartbreak, my first adventure alone, my first phone, which was like a brick, I may add. My first best friend Christine, who I've not seen since I was 4, and since then I don't see her anymore. My first argument, my first alcoholic drink, half a shandy. My first time, let's not go there. My first time travelling alone and feeling like a badass. My first panic attack, my first pass, my first fail, my first boyfriend. Again, let's not go there. My first time I actually liked myself. The first. At least I'm trying, right?
Brilliant. You know, that's got a really good... What you've done there, it's really good. It's a really good performance poem, that, because your structure is like you're using the repetition to build the rhythm on it all the time there. No, that's really good. It's, again, an excellent piece. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Okay, on to number 3.
Number 3, so this one's called Spring, and I thought it's kind of really relevant for now, even though we are kind of trapped inside. But yeah, this one's called Spring. I feel like there's flowers growing in my chest. There's a spring in my step. You push away the autumn leaves, the dust, the dirt, so I can finally breathe. Your warmth radiates and hydrates my dandelion lungs. Spring has just begun, and soon our summer of heat will commence. Don't build a fence around my hyacinth heart. Let my love grow, freely and unruly, and we'll see how it goes. You never know how long it takes for a flower to grow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. That's a complete contrast to your other 2 pieces, that one, straight away. So, yeah, it's a much softer piece, that one. So, was that conscious when you wrote that one to be a much different tone?
I just write however I want to write. Do you know what I mean? I just sometimes I'm feeling a bit more softer and romantic, and sometimes my poems are, full of character and kind of.
Yeah. No,
yes.
That was lovely, that. Yeah, the best way is you just let the writer come naturally. That's really, really good, that was. I really enjoyed it. So now we're on to the big finale now. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. So this is one of my first poems that I wrote, and it's my favourite, and it's called Balloon Brain, and I think you heard me say it actually, Andy.
You did this one, yeah. You did do this one, yeah, I remember it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's my favourite. It's one of my first poems. So this poem's called Balloon Brain. My brain blows up like a balloon. I'm a lunatic. Sometimes I feel sick with fear. Sometimes I squirm when you are near. And sometimes I feel light as a feather. And sometimes I just need to pull myself together. Because one day my balloon brain will pop. Until then, I will not stop.
Brilliant. Yeah, I do remember
air.
that. Brilliant. I do remember that one indeed, yeah. Sorry to interrupt you then. Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's great, that, because it's such a short little piece then. You can catch people out that, because you think you're going to go on for longer than what you do. Fantastic. Really enjoyed it, Helena.
Thank you.
Hang around. I need to cut Erdy off mic, but let me get this recording saved. Thank you again. And this is Andy.
Thank you.
See you all soon, guys.
Thanks again for listening to another session of Spoken Label. Our full archive can be found over on Bandcamp at Spoken Label. That's one word. Spoken Label. Full stop. bandcamp.com, and there is over 150 sessions there. So I'm sure that if you've enjoyed this session, there'll be something else there you can enjoy as well. Take care. Bye bye. Spoken Label.